Karl Rove on the radio on the EIB network, and his new book, Courage and Consequence, My Life as a Conservative in the Fight. The big question right now, of course, is the health care bill, the reconciliation, and all of this, the House basically passing the Senate bill as is. Frankly, I don't think there's going to be reconciliation. I don't think there's time. I think if the House does pass the Senate bill, Obama's going to sign it before anybody knows what's happened. But is he going to get the votes in the House for it?
I'm trying to write my column this Thursday about it in the Wall Street Journal, and so I'm spending a lot of time trying to figure it out. I'd have to say, at the end of the day, I don't think it happens, but we shouldn't underestimate the powers of Nancy Pelosi. She can persuade, she can cajole, she can argue, she can threaten.
And she's got a lot of unspent stimulus money to pass around.
Yeah, well, and look, she's got a lot of things that she can tell people will take care of you. But on the other hand, she has a heavy lift because at the end of the day, her argument is if you got a problem with this bill, we can take care of it in reconciliation. Well, what happens if in the Senate they somehow pass it through the House? They get the pro-lifers to say, you know what, I'll vote for a pro-abortion bill. They get the deficit hawks to vote for a bill that is broken and is going to cause huge deficits. They get the liberals who want more of a public option, and they say we'll fix it for you in the Senate reconciliation. And what happens if the Senate Republicans can keep them from fixing things in Senate reconciliation? And so they don't get the pro-life provision, or they don't get all the stinky stuff taken out, or they don't get all of the bribes removed, and they don't get it put in where the taxes and the benefit cuts equal the cost of the bill for the first 10 years. What happens with all this kind of stuff? And,
well, this is fundamental. I mean, this is transforming the country in ways it's never been transformed before.
Our country will be fundamentally different in dangerous ways if this bill passes.
Now, you've met Obama. How many times?
A lot. We shared common friends. So when he got elected to the Senate, whenever he'd come to the White House, we'd sort of hang around and talk to each other and chit chat about our mutual friends. And look, he's got a lot of personal charm. He's very bright. He's incredibly intelligent. He also doesn't think he needs to apply himself. In these White House meetings, when the president would go around the table, Senator Obama would be probably the least useful comment in the room, generally something along the lines of, I'm honored to be here. I've listened with interest to what my colleagues have said. It's an important issue, and I'm going to take what I learned here today home and think about it a lot. I mean, that was basically, he'd dress it up as he can. But he was one of the least impressive legislators I saw there.
Well, now, Karl, you said that he's very intelligent, and I get caught up in all this. And how do we define intelligent? How do we define smart? Because in my view, and I'm not asking you to concur with this, I think he's wrong about everything. He's dangerously wrong. I don't subscribe to this notion he's very smart. I think he's been ill-educated. I think he's been ill-mentored. And I think he poses a great danger. And whether he's smart IQ-wise doesn't matter. I think he's dead wrong on all of this. And a lot of people do. And there's a Democracy Corps, in his word, poll out today from Greenberg and Carville saying that if he's going to have any success with foreign policy, he's going to have to cowboy it up like Bush did. How does that make you feel?
Well, look, I think he's very intelligent. I don't think he's right. I'm with you. I think his worldview is wrong. I think he is very liberal. I think he plays like he's a centrist, and I thought during the campaign, frankly, that he was being so emphatic about his centrism that we would expect to see more of it, and we haven't. But look, he is a very bright individual who's capable of making a compelling argument, as he did in the 2008 campaign. Some of it is artifice, some of it is, frankly, not true. It's well reasoned. Some of it is emotional and appealing. But at the heart of it is somebody who is fundamentally trying to portray himself as something that he's not. I talk about this in the book because in 2007, an aide of mine came in and said, "Do you know that you're in Barack Obama's book?" I said, "Really? Audacity of Hope? I'm in there?" He said, "Yeah," saying, quote, "We are a Christian nation," end quote. And he has it in quotes with my name attached to it. Now, look, I've never said any such thing. It's one thing to say we're based on the Judeo-Christian ethic or draw from the Judeo-Christian ethic, that we've enshrined the free, the free expression of religion, that we have no state establishment of a state church. But you can't say we're a Christian nation, because that leaves out the Jews and the Buddhists and the Sikhs and the non-believers, all of whom, under our Constitution are as good an American as anybody else. So, but he easily said that about me, and I confronted him about it, and he had no good explanation of why he would attribute to me something that I didn't say. He then went on in his book to accuse me of being a 1960s radical. And as I say in my book, isn't that rich? I don't remember trying to bomb a government office building like his buddy Bill Ayers, or saying "God damn America" like the pastor in whose pews he sat for 20 years, or having said that I was proud of my country for the first time at the age of 40 like his wife. And for him, I mean, here's a guy who positions himself as the advocate of a new kind of politics, and who engages in the worst kind of old-fashioned political slurs. And it's not that, look, I'm used to that kind of stuff, but it really is hypocritical for somebody to say, I am better and newer and
Karl,
fresher and different, and then go do that kind of stuff.
He's just Ted Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, well,
as they said, he's the last surviving Kennedy brother. They're no different. They're all the same. They're all Ted Kennedy.
He said, somebody the other day showed me a piece of footage from 2006 in which he said Karl Rove, he invoked my name in 2007, 2008, several hundred times, generally to say we're going to end Karl Rove-style politics.
Yeah, but that's because they had drummed up so much hatred for you guys, and it was a talking point.
It's convenient. It's convenient for him, but that's not that's not who he professed to be, was it? But I saw this clip in which he said, quote, Karl Rove does not believe in government, end quote. This was at a time when I was serving in government. I mean, to accuse me of being an anarchist.
I gotta go. I'm at the TV hard breaks. It's the only one of the hour that we have. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.